Hello boys and girls, welcome to my channel, I'm for Classic and welcome to BenchART. So for today what we do have needed is Scape, a game developed by Ubisoft Montreal, the same developers behind the Assassin's Creed, and obviously they are using the same engine as Assassin's Creed, Odyssey and Origins, and also, yes, the same engine as Rainbow Six Siege. The good thing is that they are using Vulkan, which is something that I don't understand why Assassin's Creed don't use already Vulkan, since they are very CPU demanding game, and in here we have this full Battle Royale game using Vulkan and performing amazingly, at least on the CPU side. So for the settings, this game recommended me to go with the high settings. I'm just disabling in here the dynamic resolutions, just to make sure that you are using full 1080p, and these are the requirements for the game, so they just recommend a GTX 970 or an RX 580, an old Ryzen 5 from the first generation, and 8 gigs of RAM, which I do also agree with these requirements. So I've decided to test the game with the recommended high settings, the maximum settings, and also 1440p with median. So with these high settings, I was able to get an average close to 100 frames per second with a 1% of 77, so it never did drop from 60. The maximum settings on this specific test, it also didn't drop from the 60, but I was trying some other matches and it was more demanding and I saw frame rates under 60 frames per second, so I don't really recommend you to go with maximum settings with this graphic card. And 1440p, despite I did test with median settings, it is still not enough to achieve 60 frames per second all the time. So probably if you want 60 frames per second all the time at 1440p, you should consider lowering stuff to low or something like that. So yeah, that's the performance that you can expect from the game. This is a free-to-play game. This is a new Battle Royale released by Ubisoft. I think it's a little bit late to release, a Battle Royale, because I think this is the closest game that this is. It is more closest, I mean, to the Apex Legends, in my opinion. But I'm not enjoying it, to be honest. This is a game that not only comes late, it actually feels weird. I know I do suck at playing this game, that's for sure. But I don't know, all the enemies seems like sponge bullets. They took like 100 bullets without dying, even without armor or anything. And this with a Gatling gun, which is supposed to be a very damaging gun. And somebody out of nowhere takes 3 shots on me and I simply die. So I'm a noob at this game, but this is so futuristic, so fast, so weird, that makes me to not simply enjoy the game. But this is just my opinion. I think that at least one thing it is for sure, the game, it is very well optimized. I give them that. And not only that, if you like this type of futuristic games and all that kind of stuff, this is a great game. And it is also free to play, so which means that you don't need to pay anything to enjoy this game. So whatever you like it or not, you are not kind of forced to pay any money to try out the game. So I think that's probably the good part about it. So I don't have too much to talk about Scape, since it's a game that I'm actually not really enjoying it that much, and since I was always dying within 3 minutes of gameplay, I don't want to talk too much about it. I just talked about the performance. I think it performs awesomely fine. It is very well optimized, which is something that it isn't usually the case with Ubisoft games, especially with this engine specifically. But they have made a great work in optimizing this game, which is something really great. Alright, so guys, I think that's all that I want to talk about the game. Hope you keep enjoying the rest of the video, and I do hope to see you soon. Goodbye.
Just getting started.
First strike.
Always useful. I can use this. It's going.
Sectors are about to collapse.
Reloading.
75 left in Neo Arcadia.
I'm fine. Taking damage. Craig.
Warning, watch out for collapsed sectors. Humans have chosen the low gravity.
Hey there.